Okay, welcome back for this segment. So, continuing to build on the context, the situation that we're looking at for Native American constructive, sustainable, transformative Native American civil rights and culture in response to the issue of professional sports teams using less than respectful, corporatized and consumerized brand names and team culture. So, having made reference to Jesus and Gandhi and Vandana Shiva in modern India, and farmer organizing there, I just want to touch base, do a quick survey of some other activists and groups that sort of at least contribute to the larger context. And we'll go into more detail of one kind or another as we go forward here in the discussion. So, for a general sort of survey, name dropping of activists doing relevant types of activities, there's Fannie Lou Hamer, who was a civil rights activist and who used a cooperative farm as a project, an important social project. Then there's UK social entrepreneur Anita Roddick, who began to do community trade and raise the issue of environmental and living wage type of issues for her body care products at the Body Shop. Cuba itself, at the end of the Cold War, had a group of agroecologists who started the Grupo de Agricultura Orgánica that was awarded the Right Livelihood Award some years around 2000 or so. Totally devoid of names. I didn't see any name mentioned. Tanzania's Julius Nyerere, already in the 1960s and 70s, had sort of this socialist idea going, but then would be interesting with that kind of context. And fair trade certification pioneer Franz Vanderhoff, who was sort of the driving force behind the development of that now quite widespread certification based on the cooperative business model and larger types of policies related to it. So now we've gets into not just the political activism, but even already with Fannie Lou Hamer and so on, this is already economic activism. And that's kind of and so a larger grasp of that issue, a larger survey then begins to touch on issues like Japan, the response by Japan to U.S. intervention in the 1850s. Their response has to be looked at as a very brilliant and interesting and important phenomenon. Mondragon Co-op Corporation has an industrial complex that is also represents a very powerful and interesting innovation, actually initiated by a Catholic priest, a dissenting Catholic priest, basically, there in Spain, in the Basque Country. Social European work councils that, as far as I know, have an important basis in Germany's policies there, but have become a spread and a presence throughout Europe, social Europe, and along with environmental standards, labor union and human rights standards, living wages, food co-ops in the United States in particular, credit unions, also in various locations as local cooperative community banks, certifications, additional certifications like Cradle to Cradle Green, as well as already the fair trade and organic food certifications that are related to nonprofits representing those concerns and that effort. All right, so we got a little yeah. Oh, she. Okay. Family life and its vicissitudes. All right, so now, given that kind of a survey, we can look at, contextualize now Native American concerns. Okay, I'm going to have to pause here and do a little cleanup. See you with the next segment.